getting ready to start on part 2 or 3 of this project. I've got the shoulders set now for this blade. This is going to become a fighting style knife. It is for a United States Marine, same branch of service that I served in. This is for the customer's father, rather, who was a Marine, is a Marine. Because as any Marine will tell you, there is no such thing as a former Marine. They're just Marines that are no longer enlisted. So this knife is one of 2 that I'm making, and I'm going to send the customer pictures of each. They're going to be allowed to decide which one they want, and the other will go up for sale. I'm not concerned one way or the other. I know they're going to enjoy both. They're going to like the look and the appearance of both, but they are different in that one is going to be a small game knife and the other is going to be more of a K-bar style knife, which all Marines will be familiar with, and many non-Marines will be familiar with them. Yes, I am hitting my vape. No, I don't care that it's bad for me. If I cared, I wouldn't do it. So there is that. Remember, as always, guys, if you have questions, don't hesitate to drop them in the comments down below. I try to answer all comments as I see them. If I don't see your comment, please don't take offense. I can't see everything all at once. Make sure to drop a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. All of that helps this channel grow. And my goal is to get to where I can do this for a living. Hey, Destroying, how you doing, bud? That's great, man. I'm glad to hear it. If you have any questions about blacksmithing or bladesmithing in general, I'm happy to answer. The only thing I really request, guys, on my live feeds and in my videos in general, keep politics out of it. This is not a political channel, and I'll hurt your feelings if you try to get into politics, left or right. I don't care. I will hurt your feelings. Hey, Fortnite, how you doing? Hey, thank you, man. I appreciate that. Every one of those helps. Today I'm making I'm in the process. No. Get fucked, Michiro. Just for that. Removing your comment. And if you make a comment like that again, I'm going to go ahead and just ban you from the channel. I don't have time for that shit. Hey, Ghostly. Muichiro, you are put in timeout for 5 minutes. If you want to behave like that, that's fine. I will block you. Hey, Nike, or Nickel, or I'm not even gonna try. Hey, Joe, how's it going, man? Hopefully y'all are doing well. I have no problem with removing people being stupid. I have no problem with people with removing people for stuff like that. I'm not going to have that on my channel. Even though I'm trying to grow my channel, I'm not going to do that shit. Today I'm going to be forging a Marine Corps style K-bar. My name is Mike. Yeah, like I said, today I'm going to be forging a K-bar style, a Marine Corps style K-bar knife, which is a fighting knife used by United States Marines. Man, there's no negativity here. I don't have time or tolerance for stupidity. And I don't believe you should either. If you don't want to sub, that's fine. I have no problem with that. You just happen to walk in when, and I find it hard to believe that you've been here for 5 minutes when at the time of your comment, the feed had only been here live for 5 minutes. Now, I could be wrong. I've been wrong in the past. Thank you, Ghostly. I don't mind people coming in here and having a good time and, partying and all that, but I don't tolerate bigotry. I don't tolerate prejudice. It's not going to happen on my channel. If you have a problem with that, please see yourself out. Yeah, I had a K-bar while I was in the service. I loved it. I wish I still had my K-bar, but I don't. This one is going to a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, who's also a moderator on the channel. Somebody who I deeply respect and have a lot of love and respect for, so I had no problem making this knife. Not this morning. Okay. Appreciate that, Victor. I love hearing about old Marines. 20 years, that would put him right at the start of the War on Terror, Iraq War, whatever you want to call it. That would put him right through all I have, too. Sounds like. not drinking beer this early, Justin. Hey, I appreciate it. Still have a long way to go before it's going to look anything like what its final profile is going to resemble. Join Army Air Force. So it's probably Army Air TAC, I would imagine. Army Air TAC is, if I understand it correctly, which I may not, they're the guys who call in close air support for the Army. And if that's the case, your dad was a bad motherfucker. Not only was he a bad motherfucker, he was incredibly intelligent. At least as far as Army goes, those window lickers couldn't get anything right if they tried. Just joking, folks. It's inter-branch play. We're allowed to make fun of one another. Yeah, I used to give guys in the Air Force a hard time until we were in Fallujah and we had some close air support, and I have to say it, when it comes to close air support, the Air Force does it best. There's just nothing like it. It's truly a thing to behold. It was a thing of beauty. To anybody who's unaware, the A-10 Thunderbolt, when that Gatling gun in the front of it goes off, it truly is a thing of beauty, and it's a sound you never forget. We have the basic profile forged out. Now I need to do a lot of cleanup and a lot of drawing. Yeah, I do feel it. My back's not great, but it's spine and more in the arms and wrists. How's it going, Slammy? How you been? And for anybody who thinks I'm all about negativity, go ahead and ask Slammy. He's been on the channel. He's a bit of a regular, and he'll tell you I'm not about negativity. I like to have fun. I like to have some drinks and come out here and forge and just have a good time. So he'll tell you. He'll be the first to tell you. He's seen me several times out here having a good time, drinking brews and having fun. You as well, Victor. Stuck in my craw just a little bit. Hey, yeah, man, that'd be great. I love me some crayons. I like the red. The red ones taste like yellow. I don't really care for the brown ones, though, because the brown ones taste like blue. I just don't like that. Tripped over a damn router. Not an internet router, you weebs. That's right, red. The red ones taste like yellow. The brown ones taste like blue. The blue ones taste like purple, which is kind of funny. Can you tell I've had this conversation? Right there instead of the rounding hammer side, and that's to allow me to draw that out further, get the material drawn out, and when I flatten it, that'll pull that material this way. Yeah, Slammy, you feel that gun when it fires, man. When it fires, you can feel that in your chest. It's a hell of a feeling. Even on the ground as a infantryman, when that plane comes in and it fires its main cannons, you know, those Gatling guns, it truly is it's an impressive thing. And it makes you really question what the fuck would anyone want, or why the fuck would anyone want to put us in the position to use it? The Abrams is beast. I actually lost all the hearing in my right ear in Ramadi, Iraq, when an Abrams fired its main gun. About 12 to 15 foot away from me, I got my left hand over to cover my ear, got my left hand up, didn't get my right hand up, and I saw a 12-foot ball of fire shoot out of the front of that thing, and I just heard something ring. For about the next 3 days, my ears rang. I don't recall really hearing anything except for ringing for about 3 days. Yellow tankers are a different breed. Yeah. Yeah, G's is right, dude. The Abrams is a bad bitch. If anybody has about 1. Yeah, you're right. It's not service connected at all. Your injuries are not service related. Really? Are you sure? Fucking VA's a joke, guys. Anybody who tells you that the VA is this great veterans thing? Oh, you were a loader? Oh, you're a big motherfucker. All right, you a big old hoss. And you can't tell me you're not, because I've seen them fucking shells. You a big hoss. You're one of them big corn-fed Midwestern boys, ain't you? If you're not a big corn-fed Midwestern boy, where the fuck are you from, Cass? Because I've seen the size of them shells, and they ain't light. They let me pick one up. This would be about 08, 2007, 2008. They let me pick one up. Yeah. Corn-fed mountain boy, whatever. Midwest mountain, whatever. They let me pick one of them bastards up. And fuck me, that was heavy. I gained a whole new respect for you loaders when I did that, as well as artillerymen, because they fire a similar shell. What branch, Cass? That's quick. As heavy as that fucker is, that's quick. Guys, for those unaware, Cash, you could probably tell them better than I could, but those shells are fucking heavy. What are they, like a couple 100 pounds? Oh, you were first cab, okay. I was second. I was 2-9, 2nd Battalion, 9th Marines. Good old hell in the helmet. We ran into a couple of you boys over there in the Ramadi area. Is it only 50? I promise you it don't feel like no damn 50. It feels a lot heavier than that. Which the round I picked up I think was a high X. I don't know. Exactly, dude. It's cramped as shit. Especially for a guy like me. It may have been a canister, I don't know. I know it was definitely not a Sabo. This was on a training range, and we were doing cross training with tankers and Marines. So it may have been a canister, it may have been a high X, hell, it may have been a chalk round, I don't fucking know. Yeah. Yeah, I know what a canister is. but I don't know if it was a canister or if it was a high X or what. I just know that it was really fucking heavy. For example, my anvil is 75 pounds, and I distinctly remember what it felt like to pick that shell up and try to move it 4 feet. And oh my god, I thought I dropped my asshole, dude. Yeah, it was not fun.
It's all in the hits. Your injuries are not service related.
So, Cass, you could probably tell Slammy better than I could because I didn't really serve in a tanker crew. I got to work with them, and it was pretty fun while I did. And I imagine it was actually fairly uncomfortable inside of that vehicle when you were in it. I know for the short duration I was in it, it was actually really comfortable because I went about 150 yards up a field, turned around, and came back. So all told, about 300 yards, give or take 400 meters, something like that. I can't remember what the conversion rate is. They're going to be pretty close. But it was like 75 degrees out when I was in it. And I remember it being comfortable as far as temperature wise. I do remember not liking the feeling of being in a vehicle. Nothing wrong with that, Slammy. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. That's why I was saying Cass could probably talk to you more about tanks than I could. I can tell you right now, as an infantryman, I loved having tankers with us. I always felt better when the tankers were nearby. Even though there was no evidence whatsoever to suggest that I was actually safer when there was a tanker nearby. Because if I was real close to a tank, that meant there's probably some fire being thrown towards the tank. And, on a battlefield, the tank's the biggest target. So, it's a psychological effect. And I'm sure that works against the enemy as well as it works for us. But when I was around tanks, I always felt much more comfortable. Good times. You're going to have to break that one down, Cass. Because I'm not understanding what you mean. Because at 2007, muzzle flash was still a real thing. Oh, do I ever miss it? Yeah, absolutely, 100%. If they'd call me back today, I'd go back. Hey, Ghostly. You just missed a very interesting conversation on the Abrams battle tank.
This is where we're at. Still got a ways to go.
Okay, I got you, Cass. Yeah, when I was in, dude, we saw the muzzle flash from the Abrams, I promise you. In broad daylight, I saw a 12-foot ball of fire. I don't think there's any getting rid of that. It is what it is. So, there is that. Ghostly, where are you from, brother? I know you said you were going to get lunch. It's 10 o'clock. It's 10 o'clock in southeast Arkansas, so 11 o'clock on the East Coast, I imagine. I'm running low on propane, so I'm trying to make this work, but I'm fighting an uphill battle. By the way, guys, if you're interested in a knife, check out my Facebook page. It goes by the same name as my YouTube page, Show Steelworks. You can find me on there, and I can get you hooked up with the quickness. I don't just do knives, I also do decorative works. So if you're interested in something, please let me know. I like challenges. I like new things. I do make some production knives. They run at $150 each. But my production blades, while they're absolutely perfectly fine for skinning game and stuff like that, they're not fancy. So if you're wanting something a little different, a little fancy, you're going to want a custom job, and I'm glad to do it. And you'll probably end up, there's a better than 0% chance you're going to end up being able to see the knife that you custom order be made, which is not something that's going to happen with every other maker. I don't take many orders because I do work a full-time job as well as do this, so it's hard to, but I'm always taking orders. Slammy, you're in the UK, right? As long as you can show that it's a kitchen knife or something similar, you're absolutely fine. So a paring knife, one of my skinning blades, my production knives, would actually go really well for you. You just have to be able to show that it is, in fact, a kitchen cutlery knife. And that's exactly what I would write it up as. So any knife I ship to the UK, Britain, Wales, Ireland, Scotland, well, Northern Ireland, and Scotland, all of those, they go down as kitchen cutlery. Good grief. And Slammy, you could probably get one better from Finn and Liam Christie. He's a blacksmith out of Ireland, and he does absolutely beautiful work. You should check him out on Facebook. It's Finn and Liam Christie. Dude is absolutely phenomenal. He made a hammer for me that I have to get rehandled. The handle broke after several years of service, and I just haven't replaced it yet, but it's going to be replaced, and it's absolutely my favorite hammer. I can't think of a bad thing about it. So there is that. Well, I would love to make money. And trust me, I love money. I'm broke. I love money. I would much rather it go to somebody nearby you as opposed to it come to me all the way across the ocean. I'm a big believer in keeping your money in your local market. That's how things improve locally for you. So keep your money local. I think that would be best for you. Contact Finian Liam Christie. He would know the laws local to you better than I do. I have looked at them, but that doesn't mean that I know them. I do know you're not allowed to have any fantasy style designs. So there is that. My cat is on the neighbor's barn. Sorry, ADHD. But yeah, I know no fantasy designs whatsoever are allowed. Yeah, no zombie knives. Unfortunately, because there's some pretty cool ones out there. And that's coming from a maker. Like, there are some really cool zombie knives out there that I think are just awesome. As far as design elements go. Now, are they made well? Probably not. But the design is fucking cool as shit. So I don't make them just because somebody else already did. The knife I'm making now literally is because the customer's father is a Marine and I have that love for him. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Speaking of, I need to hurry up, get this going because I am really low on propane. Next, you can do a full tang, but you won't be able to do a handguard properly. So I could do it, but the handguard wouldn't fit up right. It wouldn't look right. The aesthetic would be thrown off. It's just not right. So I do all of my K-bars the same way. I've made several. I do them all the same way. It works. It looks good. It may not look great, but it looks good. It functions really well. And that's the way I do things. I don't necessarily focus on perfect. I like to focus on, is the knife going to function well? Is it going to be comfortable in the user's hand? Is it going to hurt the user's hand? From there, appearances, aesthetics come into play. I've made some pretty beefy K-bars. One for myself that I end up selling. One for a very dear friend of mine. One who I worked with for many years, who I love and cherish as a brother. He was also a Marine. He and I currently are not talking all that much, but he's got a lot of things going on in his personal life, so I understand it. I don't hold it against him. Still nothing but love. As far as that goes, yeah, that's about all the K-bars that have left my shop. Getting ready for the heat treat, so I'm going to go ahead and bring you guys along over here. Alright, so started from a fairly simple piece of steel. This is a bar of 5160, if anyone is curious. It is a bar of 5160. I've checked several times. I've got a bit of grinding, but as you can tell, fairly well on straight. And she thick. So I've got a good thick surface to grind on. Cass and Slammy, I'm really glad you guys showed up today. I really am. Like, I love seeing repeat visitors. So that makes me happy. I'm dropping in my water bucket now that it's cooled off a good bit, which you're not supposed to do. I'm going to try and bring it out and heat treat it in front of you guys. Or test the heat treat, rather. Sorry. My words are not wording today. Apologies, folks. Yeah, like I said, I'm going to test this in front of you guys. Just to make sure you guys see that My knives are hard. Sounds like it's running over glass. Let's test it over. Ow. The fine difference. She hard. So, we got a good hardened steel blade. That much is definitely coming off. Probably going to taper that down a good bit too, but you can see I've got my shoulders already defined. That's what I wanted. So, we got the shoulders defined. We got a good beefy blade to grind down to a nice clean taper. So, that makes me happy. I've got a knife to work with. And you can see that K-bar shape is there. Might not be there yet as far as final profile, but it's ready to be carved in. It's going to look really nice. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Hopefully I see you guys on the next one. And until then, stay safe and I'll catch you in the next one.